Morning traders, hope you guys are having a great morning so far. Sorry for not posting yesterday's video. I wasn't feeling the best in the afternoon, so I decided just to skip on it. Hope you guys understand. But in today's video, we're going to be doing another technical review of S&P, the Qs, and also the Magnificent Seven, what I'm going to be watching for today, and what trades. So without further ado, let's get into it. Also, if you guys appreciate this content, please like, subscribe, comment. It's always appreciated. So, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys in yesterday morning's video that I bought $15,000 worth of the Qs at 12.4 close. So I bought it at 386 is where I got the fill on it. I bought shares in the Qs. So my price target on the Qs, I do think that we're going to really get a big push up with the FOMC. I think the Fed is going to, at least in 2024, start loosening interest rates, just personal opinion. But that's what I see from what CPI and PPI are showing. But yeah, so I bought 15,000 of the Qs yesterday. We got a nice bounce off the 21 EMA. Buyers came in, so I decided to join the party. Hopefully I'm right on it. My stop loss is going to be on the other side of the 21 EMA, nice technical level, and I'm going along to my main price target is 393, but I think that we're going to push way up after FOMC. Personally, I think it's going to be a nice catalyst for another leg up on the Qs. Then I'm also thinking about buying Apple. The reason why I'm thinking about buying Apple today is because we just broke out of a bull flag yesterday. So that was very, very good. We got nice volume on the breakout. And then during the pre-market, we're coming into the bullish pennant, which is a very, very high probability pattern that we're going to break upwards. So I'm going to be looking for the break of that. I'm looking to put 15,000 into Apple as well. My only concern is that I'm going to be having a lot of exposure to tech. My max stop loss total between $30,000 is going to be about $600, and then the upside, I'm just going to sell whenever the price action tells me to. Is essentially how I'm going about it with Apple and the Qs. Now, if it does go against me, my stop loss is going to be somewhere around here at 189. I think that if we pull back to all the way below that, if we break below the upper channel of the bull flag, then I'll definitely get out because that'll show that sellers have control and something has changed. But I think, personally, in my opinion, I think Apple's going to be due for all-time highs pretty soon. I'm very bullish on Apple, but the key levels I'm going to be watching today is going to be, I'm going to be watching a move to 195, maybe even 198 if we get a really big push. But 195 is going to be the big level. If we can get a close above that, then 198 will be next. If we reject 195 or stay just below it, you could get more of consolidation, maybe even a move back down to 190, 170. That's what I'm going to be watching so far in the morning. Now, Microsoft, let's see how we're doing on Microsoft. So you do have that possible gap fill trade at 374.51. So I would watch that. On the hourly charts, it does look like that it's going to be an interesting level because we're already rejecting it. So it would definitely be something to watch as a early market trade. Personally, I'm most likely not going to be taking that because it's very hard for me to tell the difference between a reversal volume in the very early morning and actual sellers stepping in. It's just not as high probability in my personal opinion, so I won't be taking that. If it happens later in the afternoon or later in the morning, then I'll definitely watch it. But that's what I'm going to be watching from Microsoft. On NVIDIA, the big thing I'm going to be watching is going to be that 471 level. If we can get a close above 471, then you definitely can make a move back to 480 and 490. Also watch the gap fill trade at 465.66, especially if we open up above 471. That'll be a very high probability setup. Like usual, I'm not really a big fan of NVIDIA just because the contracts are just way too expensive. So I won't be looking at NVIDIA for a gap fill trade. On Meta, what I'm going to be watching on Meta, let's see how we're doing pre-market. So pre-market, what I'm going to be watching is going to be a move to 323, possible gap fill at 324.82. Let me just make sure that that's an actual good level. Sorry about the beeping, guys. It's just my diabetes device. It's been acting up lately. So what I'm going to be watching is, yeah, I'd watch that gap fill at 324.82. That's definitely going to be a high probability setup. Depending on how the contracts are trading then, I might consider getting into some puts. It all depends on what the market's doing and how soon we hit that 324 level. If we get a reject at 323, I'd watch move back down to 318. And below 318, watch 312 on Meta. On Amazon, let's see how we're doing pre-market. So nothing really crazy on Amazon. Let's see how we're doing on the dailies. So daily, we're not doing half bad. I'm not very bullish or bearish on Amazon. I'll get bullish on Amazon if we're above 149. Once we clear 149 and get a daily close above it, I think 153 and above will come pretty fast. What I might consider doing is I might put a good majority of my leftover capital into Apple. And then if we close above 149 Amazon, get into Amazon, that might be a decent idea. I'm just very, very bullish on tech overall, but I also like to protect my downside at the same time. But yeah, so I'd watch 145.89 today, 149.26. We're still trading within that range on Amazon. On Tesla, what I'm going to be watching on Tesla is going to be if we get a close above 243, I'd watch 254. We rejected 243, so I wouldn't be shocked if we get a move back down to 232. Pre-market, we're coming up to 243, so that's always a good sign, but we need to get a close above that 243. We keep on rejecting it, and until we get above 243, ideally, until you get above 254, I wouldn't get too bullish on Tesla, but then again, we are mounting the 21 EMA, so this could be a start to a big move upwards. I think that if FOMC goes over well, Tesla definitely will push up, but if FOMC goes bad, then I expect to move back down on Tesla. But that's going to be something to worry about next week. Google, the big thing I'm going to be watching on Google is going to be 131.41, 133.69, and then to the downside, I'd watch 130, 128.05. Pre-market, we're not doing half bad on Google. Definitely watch 130, 141, and 133.69. Those are going to be the main levels to watch on Google. Then on SPY, let's see how we're doing on SPY this morning. SPY is not doing half bad. For some reason, TradingView and also Thinkorswim are showing that 459.10 was hit on 12.4. If you flip to the other charts, it obviously shows it was not. So you still have this big gap here at 459.10. So that's just something to keep in mind that if we get a gap fill reversal, it's going to be at 459.10. I will be looking to take that trade. And we just check that 456.60 level, make sure it's a good level. I mean, it might play out. Let's see what we're doing pre-market. So the close of that day was 456.60. The high was 457.59. So if we open at what we're doing now, yeah, I'm not really interested in that gap down below here. Doesn't look like it's going to be high probability, but definitely watch 459.10. If we hit that, we get some decent volume. We get candles that show a rejection. I will definitely be in puts there. That's what I'm going to tell you. And then, so for levels for today, what I would watch is I would watch to see if we can get a close above 458. If we can get a close above 458, we can see 460. If we reject 456.26 by the end of the day, watch 454 and 452. On the Qs, what I'm going to be watching on the Qs is going to be, let's see how this gap fill idea is working out. So 387.29 was the close of yesterday. Yeah, personally, I'm not interested in this gap, so I'm going to remove that. What I would watch today is going to be 388. So let's just see how this is going to play out. So let's just say we hypothetically open at 388. I'd watch it move to 390 and possibly 393 if we get very, very bullish price action. We are coming off of a bounce off the 21 EMA. I think it's a gorgeous setup personally. I've always had very good luck with 21 EMA, 200 EMA, and 200 SMA. Have always provided me good setups. But I would definitely watch 390, 15, 393 in the next couple of days. To the downside, if we break below the 21 EMA, then it could start to get a little bit ugly for the Qs. It's just what I think. And I'll be fully out of my position if that does happen. It's just a way of me limiting my risk. I'd watch 377.26 for a possible gap fill there. So that's what I'm going to be watching for the Qs. Let's see. Then AMD. What I'm going to be watching on AMD for today is going to be 117 to 119. let's see how we're doing pre-market. I know that we were really pushing. Yeah, we're still pushing up. So watch the gap fill at 118.38. That'll definitely be an interesting level to watch. If we do hit 118.38 and we get if it's my gap fill criteria, I will go into calls at 118. I'm not really interested in trading support and resistance points on the Mag 7 or other stocks. I only trade that on the QQQ. But it definitely would be an interesting level to watch. I'd watch 119 and 124 today. If we get a move back down to 117, then just watch the range between 117 and 119 on AMD. But that's what I'm going to be watching today.